I have put in place a zero tolerance policy for illegal entry on our southwest border. If you cross the border unlawfully, then we will prosecute you. It's that simple. If you smuggle illegal aliens across our border, then we will prosecute you. If you are smuggling a child, then we will prosecute you. And that child may be separated from you as required by law.
Mamá, ¿dónde estás? ¿Estás enojada conmigo?
Papi, ¿dónde te llevaron? ¿Estás bien?
Mamá, ¿dónde estás? ¿Mis hermanas están contigo?
Papi.
Mamá,
Mamá,
¿dónde estás?
¿dónde estás?
¿Estás enojado conmigo?
¿Mis hermanas están contigo?
Papi.
Mamá,
Mamá,
¿Dónde
¿dónde
te
estás?
llevaron?
¿dónde estás?
¿Estás
¿Mis hermanas
enojado
están
conmigo?
contigo?
Papi.
Mamá, ¿dónde te
¿Dónde
estás?
estás?
¿Estás
¿Mis hermanas
enojado
están
conmigo?
contigo?
Papi, mamá, ¿dónde estás? ¿Estás enojado conmigo?
We do not have the luxury of pretending that all individuals coming to this country as a family unit are in fact a family. This administration has a simple message. If you cross the border illegally, we will prosecute you.
I couldn't always go to school, but I liked when I did. I had friends there, and we used to play outside together. Sometimes we would share lunch, and afterwards we would play tag. Our teachers used to show us how to read and write, and we had books and crayons. I liked school a lot, but my mom told me that I couldn't always go. She said that sometimes she was scared to walk me there, so some days I had to stay at home with her. My dad worked in a place very far away, and he would send us money. But Mama said it wasn't enough. She said that we needed more money to keep us safe. Sometimes big men would come in and tell her to give them all of the money, and sometimes they would hit her. But they were always nice to me. One time, one of the men called me pretty, and he gave me a piece of chocolate. And then he rubbed his fingers on my face and my neck, and even my legs. His hands were rough, and it felt weird. Mama yelled at him to never touch me again, but he hit her so hard that she fell to the floor and bled. That night, Mama told me that we had to leave Guatemala forever. I said no, that I wanted to go back to school and be with my friends. But she said it was the only way for her to keep me safe.
One morning, my dad told me I had to pack my favorite clothes and put them in my backpack. He said I had to do it fast. I told him that the dress that I wore in my cousin Fabrina's baptism was my favorite. But he said I had to pick other clothes, that I couldn't wear dresses where we were going. He was rushing around the house, taking pictures off the walls and folding them up inside a Bible. He started putting food and medicine in his backpack, and I helped him fold his socks and shirts so they could fit in there too. He told me that we were going to live in a new country, that I had to say goodbye to El Salvador. I was sad, so he let me pick out one toy to take with me. I chose my favorite doll, the one with the blonde hair and blue eyes. I wasn't scared because I always listen to Papi. He always takes good care of me.
I left Honduras with my mom and my two little sisters in the middle of the night. We rode in a van that stopped to pick up strangers in the dark. Everyone looked tired and frightened. My mom was scared when big men would get into the van with us. Some of them were old and some were young. One of the men looked like my tío, Miguel. He gave me a piece of gum and let me sleep against his arm when I got tired.
On the day we left home, when we didn't turn on the street where my school was, I asked my mom where we were going. She said to be quiet and to keep looking down. She said that the bad men were looking for us. She told me that we were going to go live with Papi and that I had to be quiet. so that nobody would find us on the way. I was so happy. The last time I saw Papi was 3 years ago, and now I only get to talk to him on the phone when he calls. He lives in a place called Norte Carolina, and he says that kids there get to go to school every day and read lots of books whenever they want.
I hated the long car rides, but I hated walking even more. Sometimes we would only walk in the dark and have to sleep in the daytime in houses that were filled with people that smelled. Sometimes the other kids would get so hungry that they would start crying, and people would yell at them. But not me. I never cried. Some of the people we met were nice, and there were lots of moms with their kids, and they would sing them songs and tell them stories. One of the girls there said she liked me and wanted to be my friend. One day she even held my hand. But my sisters laughed, so she stopped doing it. She left with her group the next day.
Papi always kept me very close to him. He never spoke to the other people and told me we could never trust strangers.
I don't even know how long the journey was. Days, weeks, it felt like forever. We rode in trains and cars and vans and floated across rivers and walked in the night. It was awful. My tummy hurt because I was so hungry, and my sister Elena's legs were always tired, but the man in charge told us that we had to keep going or we would die.
The last night I saw Papi was when we were running across the desert. There were only a few of us in the group because La Migra was trying to find us. We ran and I fell twice. I still remember the taste of the dirt in my mouth. Then trucks with big lights surrounded us and everyone started to run in different directions. Papi picked me up and ran as fast as he could, but he wasn't fast enough. They caught everyone and made us stand in the cold night air for a long time. I was so tired. Papi just held my hand and kept telling me that we would be all right. No te preocupes, mijita. Tu papi está contigo.
I cried so much because I thought I was dying. I would cry out, "Mama, I feel like I'm dying. I know I'm dying."
I was asleep in one of the houses where we stopped to rest when La Migra found us. They tried to wake me up, but I was so tired that I didn't want to open my eyes. Then I heard my mom screaming, and it woke me up like a gunshot. They were tying her up and walking her into a car. She kept yelling at me to take care of my sisters.
Then they started pulling me away from Papi and he started crying. I knew they were going to take him from me, so I hugged him tight and told him te quiero. A man grabbed me and pulled me hard, but I didn't let go. Papi just kissed me on the cheek, told me not to be scared, that he would find me. They started pulling us apart and taking us to different cars. He was crying and I was screaming, "Papi! Papi!"
They took me, Karina, and Elena to a big building with bright lights. We saw our mom standing in line with other moms, but they didn't let us go to her. She looked so tired. Later, they brought us into a room with our mom, and she hugged us and told us, no matter what happens, we have to take care of each other. I promised. The guards gave us water, and they told us to stand against a wall so they could take our picture. I smiled, and my mom smiled. But I could see the fear in her eyes. Then one of the guards came in and started to take her away. She fell to the ground and started screaming, "Mis niños! Mis niños!" They had to carry her out of the room. She was crying and my sisters were crying, but I just stood there. I froze. I'm so ashamed. I should have protected my mom. Three days later, they moved me to another building. I haven't seen my sisters again.
We're not the ones responsible for creating this problem. We've inherited it, but we're actually the first administration stepping up and trying to fix it.
Tortitas, tortitas, tortitas para mamá. Tortitas, tortitas, tortitas para papá. Las quemaditas para mamá, las bonitas para papá. Tortitas, tortitas, tortitas para mamá. Tortitas, tortitas, tortitas para papá. Las quemaditas para mamá, las bonitas para papá. Mamá. Papá. Mamá. Papá. Mamá. Papá. Mamá. Papá. Mamá. Papi.
Today, people with video cameras came to look at this place. The guards didn't let them in with us, but they were walking around and pointing and whispering. I didn't understand a word they said.
One time, my mom took me to the carnival. She bought me ice cream, and we got to see the animals. There were birds and rabbits, and even a monkey. They were locked in cages, and we got to look at them and talk to them. I thought they wanted to be our friends, but I thought they were happy. But now I know they probably just wanted to be with their moms and dads.
The older kids locked in the other room make a lot of noise and sing and dance and laugh at each other's jokes. They get yelled at for being too loud.
One time, one of the other girls came out of the bathroom crying. And then one of the guards, the tall and mean one, came out of the same bathroom and told her to stop crying. I don't know why he was in the girls' bathroom, but the girl looked so scared. When I asked her why she was upset, all she said was,
Don't ever go into the bathroom alone.
My mom told me that some people do bad things to little girls.
They do them to little boys, too.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Boys can fight and take care of themselves.
Trust me, we can't. Not in here.
I am deeply concerned with documents that have been turned over by HHS that record a high number of sexual assaults on unaccompanied children in the custody of the Office of Refugee and Resettlement. Together, these documents detail an environment of systemic sexual assaults by staff on unaccompanied children.
Sana sana, colita de rana. Si no sana soy, sanarás
Mañana.
Sana
sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy, sanarás mañana. Sana sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy, sanarás mañana. I like it here now.
No, you don't.
Uh-huh. Sometimes. I don't have to do homework or take out the trash. I like that.
Yeah. I don't have to brush my teeth anymore, and I don't have to take a shower if I don't want to.
Well, I miss taking showers, and I miss combing my hair. The kids in school used to tell me that I had the prettiest hair.
Nobody here cares about any of that. Remember when the older girls asked for soap and the lady guard told them that they didn't have any?
Yeah. Who cares about soap anyway? That's a dumb thing to want. If I could ask for anything, I would ask for a pillow.
Well, I would ask for a bed. I'm tired of sleeping on the floor.
I would ask for them to turn off the lights at night. Can't sleep right with them on.
At least with the lights on, we know there aren't any monsters in here.
I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Yeah, the world is filled with monsters.
Stop trying to scare me.
We're not the ones you should be afraid of.
Yeah, we're like you.
We're just kids.
I know.
Papi used to tell me that when I get scared, I should pray. If we all prayed together, maybe someone out there would hear us.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén.
Good night, Papi. I hope you're still alive.
Good night, Mama. Please, don't be mad at me for losing my sisters.
Good night, Mama. Wherever you are, you can come and get me now.
There is troubling new information tonight about hundreds of migrant children who were separated from their parents at the southern border by the Trump administration. More than 2 years after a federal judge ordered families to be reunited, hundreds of children and parents are unaccounted for.